Right, so here to talk more about percentages and using percentages in kind of everyday life um, with both proportions and equations. So both are very useful, and so you have the option that kind of is which one you would want to use. Um, I will show a bit of both here on this one. So you've already kind of started talking. We've already started talking about percent proportion and percent equation from your previous Edpuzzle video. So again, if you have not watched that, you need to make sure you watch that before this one to kind of hope to make sense of what I'm going to be talking about on this problem below, as well as the next two problems. So percent proportion, you have the part over the whole is equal to uh, the the equivalent ratio out of 100. So 3 to 4 is equal to 75 to 100. So percent is out of 100. So we know that 3 out of 4 would be 75% because the equivalent ratio in which the denominator of the ratio is 100 would mean that the numerator is 75. With the percent equation, we can do the same thing, but the percent, or we can find the percent and so the part is on the left side, is on one side of the equation all by itself, doesn't have to be on the left side. And then it's equal to the percent as a decimal or a fraction, but decimal would be the most efficient way, multiplied by the whole. So if we're trying to find a percentage of something, so remember that from the last video, the word of, it means to multiply. So if I'm trying to find 50% of 20, 50% multiplied by 20, 50% as a decimal would be 0.5, multiplied by the 20 would give me the part that is 50% of 20, which would be 10. So that's kind of a brief overview there, but looking at the problem that I have, I'll show two different ways. So at MRH Middle, grammar error there, sorry. At MRH Middle, there is 55% of the students are female. If there are 240 students who attend MRH Middle, how many female students are there? So sorry about the mistake there, but looking at this, if you want to use a proportion, okay, let's go ahead and set this up like so. And so the information I'm giving so far, I'm giving the percent. Okay, so percent, the number that goes with the percent will always go here. 100 is always going to go in the bottom of our proportion. So focus on the proportion first. So 55 over 100 is the ratio that would be equivalent to 55%. I'm going to use that to find out how many female students are. So the other piece of information I've given is if there are 250 or 240 students who attend MRH Middle, how many female students are there? So 240, you got to think, okay, is that my part or is that my whole? So 240 students, okay, who attend MRH Middle, and then we're looking for the female students. The 240 students is our whole. The part is the number of female students that attend. So you can use any variable you want here. You could use A is this kind of the standard variable that goes for part, but if you want to say F for female students, you may do that as well. So once you then set up our proportion, we would cross multiply and divide. So looking at that, F multiplied by 100 is 100F. 240 multiplied by 55. Get out my calculator, sorry. So 240 multiplied by 55 is going to be 13,200. I would then want to divide both sides by 100 because that's how I would isolate and get F all by itself. And F would be equal to 132. So don't forget to label here as well because we're finding that that's 132 female students. So that is how we would use the percent proportion. Okay. So again, part over the whole is equal to the percent over 100. So the 55 out of 100 represents 55%. So then if I look at, switch colors here, the percent equation. Okay, I again have to know what am I looking for, what am I given. So I'm given the whole, so I'm given what W would be. I know the percent, it was 55%. I'm looking for the part. So I'm going to use A here just to kind of stick with the template that I have above. A represents the number of female students. So it's the part of the whole. So the number of female students is a part of the whole number of students at school. So A is equal to 55% as a decimal. We're just moving the decimal 1, 2 to the right to find out what it would be. So it would be 0.55 as a decimal. So 0 and 55 hundredths multiplied by the whole, which is 240. So now I just solved the equation. On this one, there's no inverse operations I have to use because A is already on the left side all by itself. I just have to actually evaluate 0 and 55 hundredths multiplied by 240. So 0 and 55 hundredths multiplied by 240, and we get A is equal to 132. And don't forget to label female students. Okay, so there is an example of using percentage with both the percent equation and percent proportion to find a part when given the whole. Now, again, if you're given the part and you're looking for the whole, your equation and your proportion will look different. Same to where if you're given the part and you're given the whole and you're looking for the percentage, okay, you're filling out these particular spots based on what information you're given. So again, this is the part, this is the whole, and this is would be the percentage out of 100 to represent the actual percentage. So again, 55 over 100 just means 55%. So next, okay, if we look at another problem that involves percentage that we'll be continuing to work on here, percentage can go a lot of different ways, but one thing that we're going to be focusing on is taxes, tips, discounts, markups, commissions, things of that nature. So when you are taxed at the store and you go buy something, that tax that you pay on whatever you're buying is based on a tax rate, based on a percentage. And each kind of community, each area has different sales tax rates that they may be charging for your purchasing of goods in those areas. So again, it's not just a number that people are coming up with random. It's a percentage of the price of the item you're buying. So the more expensive item that you're buying, the higher the taxes will be on it. So let's say you buy a pair of shoes that cost $72 before taxes. The sales tax rate is 7 and 8/500% for the store that you are shopping at. What is the total price of the pair of shoes you're buying? Round to the nearest cent. So on this one, again, you could use, on this one, I'll use the percent proportion to kind of give us a look at that. Again, if you want to use the percent equation, you may do so. It's kind of your choice. Both are great ways of being able to solve. So again, I have a proportion here. I have my part over the whole. The percentage would be on the right side, so the percent over 100. So I know that I'm given 7.85%. So 7.85 is going to go over 100 because 7.85 divided by 100 will be the decimal value of our percentage, which would be 0.0785. So then I got buying a pair of shoes that cost $72 before taxes. So $72 is that, I'm trying to think, okay, is that the whole or is that the part? Okay, the part in this scenario is the taxes that we have to pay on the shoes. Okay, so I do not know my part. I do know what the whole is. The whole price of the original price of the shoes is $72. So that's my whole. So again, here's my proportion. I just have to cross multiply and solve. So 100 multiplied by A is 100A. 7 and 85 hundredths multiplied by 72 is going to be 565 and 2/10. I now want to solve this one-step equation by dividing both sides by 100. And A is equal to 5 and 652 thousandths. So now what A represents is the dollar amount in taxes that we have to pay. So if you're buying $72 pair of shoes, and you had to pay the 7.85% tax rate. Okay, the taxes you have to pay in addition to $72 is $5.65 if we're rounding to the nearest cent. So if I'm going to go ahead and round to the nearest cent and say that, okay, my taxes that I have to pay, so this is the taxes, is $5.65. Now the question is asking what's the total price. I'm not asking for what the taxes are. Okay, so if you're paying taxes, that's in addition to the $72. So the total price will be 72 plus the $5.65, which would be 70. Oops, don't forget the label here. $77.65. So that is how you would find the total price. Again, you have to find the taxes first, and then you are adding that the tax amount to the price of the shoes or whatever item it is you're buying. So there's a lot of different variations that could go into this problem as well. So again, it's important to understand why I put these numbers in these places. So again, the percent always goes above 100. 72 is the whole. So it went in the bottom of on the left side of our proportion. So it was the part was the taxes over the whole price of, which was the original price of the shoes, $72. So that is how we would find how much we would have to pay with taxes. The next problem is if we are trying to get a discount. So discounts are a sale. We're taking money off of the price. So Amira finds a sale on hoodies with a 20% discount. She wants to buy a hoodie that originally cost $28. What is the sale price of the hoodie after the discount? So round to the nearest cent again. So looking at this, and we'll use the percent equation here. So A is equal to P, the percent as a decimal, multiplied by W. I can show the quick setup here of how to set up the proportion as well, because that's sometimes what students gravitate towards. But the equation is the way that is more efficient, and probably when you're actually getting into real life scenarios would be more so the one that you're using. So again, the information that we know, okay, I know that it's 20% discount. So discount means that we're taking money off of the original cost. Okay, $28 is the original cost. So again, I'm told very similar scenario as to what I was just told in the previous problem. $28 is the original, the whole price of the hoodie. Okay, the part would be how much money are we taking off of that $28. P again is the percent, and which is 20% as a decimal. So 20% as a decimal would be 0.2. Okay, so 0 and 2/10, and again, you can put a 0 if you want to, but you don't need it. So 0 and 2/10 is going to go in for P. $28 is going to go in for W. So A is equal to 0 and 2/10 multiplied by 28. And again, A represents the discount amount, so how much we're taking off. So if I multiply 2/10 by 28, I get 5 and 6/10, which is very close to the last problem we were just talking about. But that would represent the discount amount. So the discount that we get, okay, because we're talking about money, would be $5 and not 6 cents, but 60 cents. So $5.60. So if I then wanted to find what is the sale price, which is the price of the hoodie after I take the money, the discount amount off, so it would be $28. So the sale price is going to be 28 minus the $5.60. It's 28 minus 5 and 6/10 is going to be $22, and it's 0.4, so that would be 4.40 cents. Okay, so 4/10 is going to be 40 cents. So our sale price would be $22.40. At this point, in in a real life situation, you would have to pay taxes on this amount. So you would have to then would hopefully get into some multi-step problems where you have to find what the sale price is and then use your tax rate to find what the actual total price would be after the discount and after taxes. So again, you would go to the register, and that's what you'd be getting the hoodie for that. But again, when we buy hoodie at a store, we're gonna have to pay sales tax. Okay, the proportion, the way we would set it up again, 100 is always going to go here. The percentage goes above 100, so 20 out of 100 represents 20%. $28 is the whole, so that goes here, and then 28, not 20, bad 8, and then A, which is our part that represents the discount amount. Yeah, it would go there. And again, if you would solve this, you will get the same exact answer as we had before. So if we do that real quick, 28 multiplied by 20 is 560. You divide 560 by 100, and you do get 5.6 for A on that proportion as well. So let me know if you have any questions. We'll continue to work past and look at some multi-step problems. But this is kind of the basics of how we would use a percentage in some real life scenarios. So please make sure that you're watching this, or obviously watch this, but also watching the other Edpuzzle videos to make sure that you have some other basics so that we are prepared for working on these standards in class. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.